Hey y'all, it's Taylor from Tattooed Teacher Plans. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are going to dive into part 1 of my 3-part series on my 2021 goal planning. And I decided to do this because I've learned a lot over the past year in working through my mäksēlife planner, and I feel like I just want to share what I have learned. I am not an expert in this, so I definitely want to make that clear right up front, but I do have some things to show you and some ideas for when you decide to jump into your 2021 goals. So today's video is going to be covering just a couple of simple things. I'll go through the whole overview of the series here. Okay, so this is my 2021 mäksēlife, and the first part of the planner is the goal setting section. So that's what we're going to be working through in these videos. So first you have some getting started pages, and then the steps to setting up your goals and working through the whole entire goal setting system. So today's video is going to be covering the compass assessment, which is kind of my favorite part, and then the assessment scoring, and the intentions. Now you'll notice that I have post-its all through this section because I've already been brainstorming on my goals. So one of the things that I find really helpful is to lay down some post-its and then come back to my planner multiple times and just jot down some ideas. And over time, I'm going to change those post-its out, and I will have a more clear vision of what I want and the wording and all of that. So I definitely recommend trying that and seeing if that works for you. So this is actually the second set of post-its for this page. This is my list of my words for the year that I kind of am thinking about. And over here in my annual goal section, same thing. So this is the second post-it that I have done, and I have one ready to go for my third kind of rough draft for my goals. So you'll see, like, this is not a one-stop process. This is a kind of gradual building up of ideas. So that really works for me. If you can sit down and just choose your goals, like, more power to you. That's amazing. But I need to think through everything and choose things over time, if that makes sense. So video 1, which is this one, is going to be over the assessment and the intentions. Video 2 is going to be covering my annual goals, and this section right here where it talks about things to consider. And then, as you can see, I've already got some brainstorming going for my annual goals. Then part 3, which will be like 2 weeks from now, is my mind map. So that is my second favorite part of goal setting. This is my 2020 mind map for the year. I hesitate to show it to you because this is not what ended up being the plan. So 2020 kind of messed me up a little bit, as I think a lot of you experienced. And also, I didn't have a super strong foundation for goal setting when I started this. I've been doing a mind map for years, but I wasn't using all the categories, and it just kind of fell apart in a lot of ways because of 2020. So I'm excited to kind of put this to the side and start fresh with my mind map for this year. And the way that I do my mind map is I take my annual goals and I turn them into a visual format. So that is what is going to be in video 3. And I'm going to use these pages in my planner instead of an external paper, just so that I have them here and I can look at them even when I take my planner elsewhere, if that makes sense. So I've already got some some notes in here. I'm also going to, in this video for the mind map, do some kind of tips that have helped me that I have discovered over 2020. So I think we are ready to jump into today's section. So let's go all the way back to the start. This part of the planner just kind of gives you some general information about the system and all of the different parts of it. So the compass assessment and setting intentions are step 1 and 2. Then we have the goals and vision. Then you get into the monthly goals. So I will be doing this step with you as well, but it's going to be kind of a honorary part 4. It'll be the last Friday in December. And then monthly reflections and quarterly reviews come throughout the year. So this is a very important part of the process for me. And like I've said before, doing this multiple times is helpful for me. So on the mäksēlife website, which I will link this section of the website down below, it has printables of like tons of this stuff. So if you don't have one of these planners, but you want to work through this process, it's on the website. So like the compass is on there with the assessment, the intentions page is on there. There's even these pages with the annual goals on there, this, and this page as well. Like all of this is on the website. So you don't have to have this planner to do this process. What I did was a couple of days ago, I took the assessment and I want to see if I score the same or different after having some time to think about it. So I did go ahead and score it out, but I just want to do it again and see if I've changed my mind after I've had some process time. So we're going to do the assessment first, then we'll come back and fill in the compass, and then we'll move on to the intentions. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and do this assessment here, and it covers all of the 8 categories, which are personal, fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial and physical environment. So this is just a good way to tell you what areas are you most in need of working on, and then also like what areas you're doing really well in. So I think it's helpful in both ways. Today I'm just using a Sharpie S gel in 0.7. This is the new like metal barrel, like the champagne color. And I like the weight of it, and I just thought it would be fun to try out this pen in this planner, but every pen I've tried works great in here. So let's get into the assessment. I'm going to do the scoring and then the average, and then we'll come back and fill in the compass together. All right, so my scoring is done, and I'm going to quickly do some averages, and I will be back. So math. All right, so the math is done, and I have my averages here. So what I need to do next is transfer them to my compass so I can get a visual representation of where I'm at currently at the start of 2021. I love this so much because as a super visual person, this tells me exactly where I stand in these different areas and quickly. So I also like this a lot though, and I want to go ahead and rank them. So 10 or 1 being my most needed category, and then 8 being the least. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we're going to transfer these over. So looking at these scores, okay, so the one that is the most needy or the strongest, well, I don't know how I want to put that. I think maybe I'll flip that. So I'll have the strongest area as my number 1. No, we're going to do that backwards so it matches the scoring. Okay, so my most needy area is health and wellness. Okay, so this is my number one category to focus on. And then the next one would be my fun and recreation, which is kind of surprising because I kind of feel like I do a lot of fun and recreation, but you know, really thinking about it, I don't. I need to expand that. Okay, then family and relationships, that makes sense. I've got to cut a lot of stuff like in progress there. And then personal growth, definitely on my radar. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, number 5 would be this one, physical environment. See, it all makes sense. It all comes together when you kind of look at the numbers and everything. And then 6 would be personal. And then 7 would be financial, which makes sense to me. And then 8 would be work and learning, which also makes sense. Okay, so now I'm ready to, I'm gonna make a little note to myself here, so I remember my ranking system there. Okay, so let's go to the compass and we're gonna score this out. So if I am looking, we'll just go in order here. With personal is an 8. So you go up to 8 and you draw the little line. And then you fill it in. I've seen lots of ways to fill this in. I don't know what the right way is. I don't think there is one. I think maybe a colored pencil would be nice, but that's okay. Okay, fun and recreation is a 6, which is here. That one always sneaks up on me for some reason. You can also do this like multiple times during the year. Like it's built into the quarterly compass, which is super helpful. If you're not using this planner, you can redo your compass multiple times during the year to just like see where you've grown. Okay, work and learning is 8, I think. Yeah. I feel really comfortable in my job, which that's not always a good thing. Like I don't want to get too comfortable, but I do feel like I'm doing my life's work. I think that's one of the questions. Family and relationships is a 7. There's definitely some things I want to work on in this category. Strengthening some family relationships, connecting more, whether it's physically being in the same space, which has been hard in 2020, or just like talking on the phone and stuff. I just forgot what it was. 6. Okay. This was a low 6 though. I remember when I was doing the math for this one. You know, I guess it's good that like not an area isn't below 5, but okay, spiritual is a 7. This is another area I want to work on this year. I think it's easier for me too, in a lot of ways, to work on my goals more intensely because I don't have like children or a husband. It's just me. I'm in control of everything, which also, flip side, sometimes sucks when my motivation is down or I get discouraged and I just want to give up on something. I don't have the encouragement of another person there, but I guess we all have our strengths in our situations. And I just messed that up, but that's okay. And then physical environment, I feel really comfortable in my home. This is definitely not my forever home, but I do love my little house. Okay, I love that. Okay, so now I can very clearly see where I need to do some work, which is here and here for sure. Those are going to be my kind of needy areas. So I really like these questions here at the bottom. So it says, consider what you would like to score yourself in each area by the end of the year, and then circle that number on your compass. So I'm going to circle, I'm just going to go around. Let's start with personal since that's the first one. I would like to see myself at a 9 by the end of the year. Ooh, okay. For fun and recreation, I think I could definitely expand on this. I've got some ideas. I'm going to say an 8. Okay, work and learning, I want to go to a 9. Family and relationships, I want to definitely make some progress here. Let's say 8, just to be realistic. Okay, health and wellness. I have some big goals for myself, and most of them are internal, like mind things. So I want to be realistic here and say an 8. Okay, spiritual and personal growth. That also I'm going to mark as an 8. Okay, financial. I want to maintain where I'm at. I don't want to do anything crazy. So we're just going to stay here at an 8. Okay, physical environment. I think also I want to stay here at an 8. Maybe let's just say 9. I have some little improvement and things I can do. Okay, so I feel good about this. I don't know if I was like not hard enough on myself on my assessment, but I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now. That's going to change because life changes, but I feel like I'm in a good spot right now with my goals and what I envision for my goals. Okay, so we've got the life compass done. We've got kind of the ideas for the year, and then I'm going to move into my intentions. So this I think is a really good step to do, and as you can see, I've already made some notes here, and I may change them as I go because they're a little messy anyway. But these questions are very helpful. They are hard though. Like, this is why I use the Post-its, because I need to think through all of these different questions. These are really big questions. And if you're coming from the power sheets, this may be easier for you because this feels like prep work that I saw in the power sheets. But these are questions that are like really deep, really big, heavy questions. So don't get discouraged when you get stuck, because I definitely got stuck on these questions as I was working through them. So give yourself some grace, put it down, come back to it, and even just talk to people about this stuff too. Like, I like to ask these of different people and see what their ideas are and see if I can just get something from them. So just give yourself time to work through these is what I'm trying to say. All right, so what could I use more of in my life this year? And so what I've already written was peace, boldness, and knowledge. And I like those words, and I think I'm going to keep those words. So let's go ahead and write those in. Peace, boldness, and knowledge. I may add another one in a minute if I think of something else. Okay, what could I use less of this year? And I put weight and impatience. And weight, I mean physical weight, but I also mean like weight that I put on myself, like expectations I have for myself and things like that. So I'm going to put weight in quotation marks so that I remember what that means. And then the other word was impatience, which is definitely a problem that I struggle with. I'm crazy patient when it comes to like certain things, and then incredibly impatient when it comes to other things. So, like I said, things are coming up. So, what I want more is I want some perseverance. Like, I want to stick to things. Is it ENC or ANC? I think it's ANC. I'll have to look that up later and see if I was wrong, because I'm not the best speller. I think that's right, though. Okay, so perseverance, that's definitely something that I want more of. Okay, characteristics I would like to nurture. So I would like to nurture patience, empathy, and joy. I thought about these for a really long time, and I still feel comfortable with those 3 words. So I'm going to go with those. So patience, empathy, and joy. There were several experiences this year that taught me that I don't know everything. And I knew that, but like I needed to be reminded of it multiple times this year. And having empathy for people, even if you don't understand what they're going through, but you can listen and you can connect to them, that's where I'm kind of coming at with, or coming from with empathy. Okay. How about, let me add seeking truth, like truth seeking. That one's just kind of weighing on me too. Okay, 3 habits I want to develop. So I have previously written eating healthy, a sleep schedule, and charity and giving. Yes, the eating healthy is going to be huge and lots of parts to it, but I think that I want to stick with that. Okay, I've already got some plans for that I want to try this year. The sleep schedule, that feels like a good habit to work on. And then charity giving, making that a monthly habit, something that I check off and I do it with an open heart. Okay, this year I will be more. So the words that I've written before: open, conscious, and healthy. Yes, I like those a lot. Okay, so I will be more open, healthy. I'm going to put inside and out here because I do want to work on the mental and emotional side of this as well. And conscious. Okay, I will do less. I put overthinking, judging, and standing still. I like those words still today, so we're going to put those in here. Sometimes I overthink to the point that I don't move and I don't make decisions fast enough, or I judge things too quickly. Okay, and then I will give myself grace for. I only wrote one thing here, and I think it encompasses a lot of stuff. It says falling back into old patterns. I have a lot of stuff to work on, and I will fall, and I will have to pick myself up. And these patterns are going to be hard to break, but that's what goals are for. Okay, I will let go of. I put outdated ideas of how I thought my life would turn out, and I really like that. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, I will embrace. I have one thing here, which is new experiences. I'm going to put new experiences. And new ideas or new, yeah, I think that. We'll try that. Okay, so I've thought about my word of the year quite a lot, and this information actually helped in finding that word. So as I was working through this, I had this post-it of words that kind of came to me, and the one that is really sticking out to me is energy, and for quite a few reasons. So let me write this right here. Okay, we have energy and what my word means to me. So I have some things here. I want to put my energy into things that move me forward, not backward. I want to choose things that feed and support me in the best way, and I want to be conscious of how I spend my energy. So I think that pretty much covers it. What moves me forward, what feeds me, what supports me, and also what energy I put out. Okay. Okay, so let me put that into, okay, what does my word mean? Okay, so here's what I came up with. I want to put my energy into things that move me forward, that feed and support me. I want to be conscious of what energy I put out and what I spend it on. So, oh, I feel good about that. That is definitely where I want to go this year. Actually, let me show you something real quick. So I had this made from a shop on Etsy, and this was my word of the year for 2020, which was cultivate. And I am definitely going to reorder maybe a different font, but I'm going to order this again because this sat on my desk and it just reminded me every time that I sat there or was in my office of my word of the year, and it actually was helpful. It was a visual kind of reminder of what I want to do with this year. So I'm excited to order that again. And when I do, I will include it in one of these future goal videos, maybe next week or the week after, depending on when I get it. But I definitely love this, and I will leave the shop down below if I order from the same shop in the description for you, so you can check this out. So I feel like today was a super successful session of goal planning. I've got my life compass ready and where I want to go for 2021. My assessment is done. I've even got my needs focused on, and then my intentions are set for the year. This was the most powerful piece of this to me, and I didn't think that it was going to be. I mean, I've been kind of thinking about them, but actually sitting down and kind of writing them down was actually really powerful. And especially this part, I feel really, really good about my word of 2021. And I'm ready to go into my annual goals. So that is going to be the next section of this series. We're going to talk about writing goals and actually write them for 2021, which is crazy to be thinking about. But as you can see, I'm doing some prep work, and we'll see where everything lands, but I'm excited about setting my goals. And then, like I said, the third video will be my mind map, which is always a favorite video of y'all's. So I'm excited for this series, and I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you have any questions about anything that we did today or future goal planning, definitely leave those down in the comments. I would be happy to answer them for you. Or if you want to pose a question or answer anybody else's questions, definitely do that in the comments. I love seeing y'all interact with each other and me, and I just think it's really helpful because we are all coming from different places, and mentally, physically, geographically, and we all have something to bring to the table. So I hope that you guys got something from this, and if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!